Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today on Chelly's Mental Wealth, we're going to be talking about bipolar disorders. Now, I will admit, I have not had a client that's been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, so I'm not very familiar with treatments, but I do remember studying this when I took my abnormal psychology class. Now, a lot of you might think to yourselves, why are you always referring to abnormal psychology? Why are there always videos in regards to abnormal psychology? Well, I had to take that class because in order for you to qualify for a clinical social worker, for some colleges, you need to take that as a prerequisite, or you must have taken that while in the process of getting your bachelor's. So I had to take that class because remember, I wanted to be a clinical social worker. That might be in the works, I'm not sure yet, but anyways, I don't want to change the subject. We're gonna be talking about bipolar disorders. I'm gonna be explaining a little bit so people understand what exactly is and how someone can get diagnosed. I'm also gonna be explaining a little bit of the causes and treatments that people can do to better their symptoms. And then at the end, I'm also going to be having testimonials. So the testimonials are really not going to be part of this video because I didn't want to make this video that really long because the questions are pretty lengthy and the answers that they gave me were really good, so I didn't want to speed up the process. So if you guys are still interested, keep on watching so you guys learn about bipolar disorders and all that good stuff and some facts. If not, wait for part 2. I really encourage you guys to watch that video and this one. So let's get it going. To be having testimonials from people, 2 people that actually participated when I asked on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I really do suggest that you do, because I do polls bi-weekly, every 3 weeks, whenever I decide to do certain topics regarding mental health, and I let you guys pick. I put out a statement to see if anybody that was diagnosed with bipolar disorder would like to answer some of my questions so that I can put it on this video and you guys can kind of understand what someone who is diagnosed with bipolar disorder, what their struggles are, and just you'll see once you hear the questions. But the purpose is for us to try to break the stigma, okay? So let's get this video started. Let's go. Yes, I'm being fancy today. This kind of helps more have like a visual and kind of keeps me organized, okay? First, we're going to talk about what is bipolar 1 disorder, because there is bipolar 1 disorder, there's bipolar 2 disorder, and there's other type of disorders that kind of fall in between. The names are very complicated to pronounce. I don't know by the top of my head, but when I turn this poster board, you guys are going to see, okay? So anyways, bipolar disorder, what is it? Well, in order for you to actually get diagnosed, you have to experience really extreme lows, which means you are experiencing the same symptoms someone would usually experience when they are diagnosed with major depressive disorder, aka MDP. A lot of people know the acronym, so that's why I'm putting it in here. Some of the symptoms are hopelessness, weight loss, gain, no energy, feeling worthless, okay, suicide thoughts, and basically, really low self-esteem. It's technically the same type of symptoms. We all kind of know the generic version, but the thing is that like you're experiencing this all the time 24/7, so that's why they usually diagnose it with major depressive disorder, okay? You're supposed to be experiencing all this going on here. On top of that, you're also experiencing a manic episode, okay? You experience the lows and you experience the highs. When you have a manic episode, it's like very euphoric. They explain how it's very like a euphoric feeling, very high self-esteem driven, very talkative. Like, you're just talking and talking. I remember when I took my class, my teacher said that sometimes you don't even like make sense sometimes because you're talking so fast, so quick. You increase your goal-oriented process, so it's like you're doing a bunch of things all at once, and because you think that you can handle everything, and because you have the high self-esteem, you get distracted very easily too. You also have a lack of sleep, like you just don't want to sleep because you're just constantly energized. You just want to do all the things that you're goal-oriented and stuff that you're trying to get to, right? The main thing in regards to this whole thing is that you experience a manic episode. And during this manic episode, there's also hallucinations. That's the key thing. you are actually hallucinating to some extent and you feel very grandiose. This manic episode only needs to happen once a year in order for you to get diagnosed with bipolar 1 disorder. The key thing is hallucination, and this only needs to happen once a year, although it could happen more than once. This is bipolar 1. Okay, you guys, so now I'm gonna turn it around. Let's do it. Boom. Oh, okay. We got it down. All right. Okay, this is where life is. Okay. All right. So I hope this is not too low. I feel like it is. All right, you guys. So bipolar 2 disorder. What does this mean? Someone will get diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder when the symptoms are a lot milder, and this is called, or also known as, hypomania. Okay. And the symptoms are not as severe enough to impair your daily routines and last about 4 consecutive days. So I remember when I refreshed my memory, the main thing is it's not as severe because when you are diagnosed with bipolar 1, since you're having hallucinations, it's really hard for you to get a job. It's really hard for you to maintain a relationship. You know, it's difficult. It impairs you way more. So when you have bipolar 2, you could do your normal stuff. You can have more of an easygoing, less stressful day-to-day life because you're able to do your daily routines, okay? And you can be in this milder mania episode situation for 4 consecutive days, like I mentioned. And the main thing is no hallucinations. This is the main thing about bipolar 2 is you'll get diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder if you are experiencing mania in a moderate form and you're not having any hallucination. That's the key thing in regards to bipolar 1 and bipolar 2, okay? I just want you guys to understand that. I think that's what I got the most out of what I reviewed. And then when we go down here, the less severe version, because remember I told you there's like these little in-between ones, it's called cyclothymic, okay? This basically alternates from hypomania and depressed symptoms. So you're experiencing really highs without hallucinating, or you feel really grandiose and you don't sleep and you have a bunch of goals, and then all of a sudden you feel really, really depressed and you're just going up and down, but you're not hallucinating, okay? And this can happen for 2 years, and if it happens more than 2 years, that's when you're at risk at getting diagnosed with bipolar 1 disorder, okay? This is a very less severe version, but then it can trickle you down up to here. So this is I hope this makes it a little easier. I know that for me it makes it easier for me to kind of read it. Hopefully this is a little more different for you guys. I saw other YouTube videos where they actually did the chart and they do the little wiggly diggly thing, and I was just like, I don't know, maybe I should do that, who knows? But if you want me to do a wiggly diggly thing, basically what they're trying to say is, let me see. The wiggly diggly things. Well, that was a fail. I'm not gonna do it anymore. It's the universe saying, never mind. Alright, guys, so hopefully you guys understood. You guys understood. I don't even know where to put this. Okay. Hopefully you guys understood what bipolar 1 and bipolar 2 is, okay? And you have an idea as to what it means. I think the most important part about, let me bring this closer. I think the most important thing that I've learned, and I hope that you guys can understand, is the reason why bipolar disorders come about is they don't know. And that's the sad part, is that there's actually no evidence yet to show what the real causes are to bipolar disorders. And unfortunately, there's no cure to it. But they do say that there is specific treatments that you can do. They do say that talk therapy helps you with stressful situations, but it doesn't actually help you with your manic episodes. So, and they say that supposedly cognitive behavioral therapy doesn't really help, only with being able to decrease your stressors so that it doesn't trigger a manic episode. So they say that it does work in that sense. So I wouldn't want you guys to not pursue therapy just because someone or a study says that it doesn't, because everyone's different. You guys got to remember, even if I've seen so many studies lately where they try to debunk cognitive behavioral therapy lately, and I kind of understand, because I can't even imagine it might work. It may not work for everyone. Like I understand that, like, because all the interventions and coping skills that I might suggest to my clients may not fit for everyone. And I understand that because everybody's different. Cognitive behavioral therapy may not work for everyone, and I understand. But does that mean that it doesn't work at all? No, I don't believe in that. I believe that is a resourceful intervention. So give it a try. Don't lose hope. Another treatment that they also mention is cannabis. A lot of people have said that doing CBD works. So if it's not illegal in your state, I really encourage you guys to try that route, that holistic route, because I would consider that more of a natural way of treating bipolar disorder. But of course there's also medication, and I keep hearing that, and the more research that I do, that they keep stating that if you're not going to, they suggest for you to take your meds. So if that's what you decide to do and it really helps, I still continue to encourage you to take your medication. And if that helps, I also will encourage you to just go seek therapy, like I mentioned, to go find coping skills and interventions that will help you with reducing those manic episodes. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking to you guys a few little facts. One thing that I found out is some researchers that observed some of these famous people in history and how they behaved and the decisions they made, they actually diagnosed them with bipolar disorders. And a few of them is Abraham Lincoln, okay? And according to my abnormal psychology textbook, theorists argue that symptoms of mania, such as increased self-esteem, a rush of ideas, and the courage to pursue those ideas, high energy, little need of sleep, excessive optimism, and decisiveness, can actually have benefits in certain settings. Theorists also believe that the most influential people in history have suffered and perhaps benefited from bipolar disorder or depression. All of these historian men were diagnosed by psychiatric biographers as having had periods of mania, hypomania, or depression. And although they experienced this depression, these leaders often were able to do great, significant things such as winning wars, solving national problems, and had the energy, self-esteem, and persistence to carry out these strategies. All of this information pretty much justified everything that Kanye West was telling us in regards to looking at bipolar disorder as superpowers. And this actually shows that a lot of historians use this mania to do very great big things, such as Kanye West. But anyways, let's go start to the statements. I'm going to grab my phone now. So, like I said, for part 2. Wait for part 2. Thank you guys for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe if you guys are new to my channel. Please do not forget to give it a thumbs up and you poke that like button. And also too, please comment down below. Let me know what you think, what your experience has been with bipolar disorder. Have you been diagnosed with bipolar disorder? Do you know someone that's been diagnosed and you've experienced the same type of symptoms or barriers, or the highs actually? Because it's really interesting the things that they said about this, and how the highs for certain celebrities or people that they assume that they've had bipolar disorder have done a lot of great things in this world when they hit their highs. So there's good stuff when it comes down to bipolar disorder, in my opinion. But with that being said, I will see you guys in my next video. Like I said, don't wait for part 2. All right, talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.